Welcome to another episode of Professional Couch Coaches with Doc and Mike. It is your girl, Doc, here with my brother from another mother, Mike. Mike, it is Monday, September 8th. We just had NFL games, and we are doing a special edition quick recap for people to throw in our episode list.
Yeah,
How you feeling?
I'm good, man. It's Victory Monday. Well,
All right,
for
whatever.
half
For
the
some
screen.
for
Yeah,
for
for
that
the
half
hat.
of the
Yeah.
screen. Um, yeah, so we had NFL games last night. This episode will probably be a quick hits type of episode, where we're going to talk about a couple things that have happened. Ryan Clark and made some statements that got a little burn around every news outlet. Going to talk about a little WNBA news because I
Oh,
know you
here we
love
go again.
when I bring up the WNBA because we are becoming fans.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
we
Nafisa.
exactly. Yep. Now you know her name. See?
Yeah.
So we have to stay up on our WNBA news. And then we'll do a quick recap of how the Ravens and Bills game went and the Steelers and Jets game went. To finish out the episode.
Yeah.
I want to kick off with Angel Reese. Have you heard what has been happening in the WNBA and Angel Reese?
I have not. No.
Okay, see?
Yeah, no.
Awesome. So for all my WNBA fans and those who are trying to be like me and Mike and become WNBA fans, um, what has happened with Angel Reese? Angel got suspended by the league
What?
for for receiving her eighth technical, right?
Oh,
So she had to sit out a game. But the following game, she sat out a half because the team itself, the Chicago Sky, suspended her.
dang.
And they suspended her for conduct detrimental to the team. Do you want to know what that conduct was?
What's that?
Well, it was a media day, and Angel made some comments to the Chicago Tribune, and she basically said, "Hey, I don't think the organization is where it should be. I
Mm,
don't think we have put the right pieces around the key players in the organization for us to actually be successful. Some of the moves the organization has made has been questionable, and I don't think we're in a place where we're really trying to win." That is summarizing what she said. That's
okay.
a summary.
Yeah.
So from that, of course, the team got wind of it and they said, "Hey, you can't throw your teammates under the bus and you can't throw the organization as a whole under the bus.
Right.
So we're going to suspend you for a half." And she had to sit out a half versus the Las Vegas Aces, who are still winning, by the way. I know you care about that.
Okay.
Um, so she had to sit out a half. Following that, the next game she did not play for whatever reason, but she did not play again. She was on the bench,
Hmm.
um, but she was listed as questionable to start the game and then eventually out for the following game. Now, all of this has happened in a 4 to 5 day span. So this
Yeah.
is from last Thursday to now. They just played the Aces. I believe it was either Saturday or Sunday. No, they played them Saturday. So she sat out then. It became a big thing.
Hmm.
Do you think the Sky organization was right in suspending her?
Um, if you want to run an organization to where you don't allow your team to be disrespected, then yes. Um, I believe so. I believe yes. we're usually very pro player. Like, get your money, talk your talk, but we definitely not like don't make dumb decisions. Like,
Yeah.
if you are disgruntled, have that conversation behind closed doors. Like,
Yeah,
sure, you could have went to the GM and or your coach or an assistant coach or another teammate that's on your level. But I don't even think she's the best player on her team.
she
Um,
is.
she is
She is the best player on her team.
okay. Um, okay, well, cool. Well, she can go talk to an assistant coach or a coach. You go talk to anybody, not not the Chicago Tribune. No, like that just not smart. And I understand you're frustrated, and I understand
Mhm.
disgruntled, but it's the certain things. If you're the star player, if you are the best player, it is certain things that you cannot do, and no matter who you are or no matter what position you hold, if you are playing on a team, you are never going to be above the team.
Correct.
Never. Like, as much as you love Lamar Jackson, if Lamar Jackson
Mhm.
went out today and
Mhm.
showed all the frustrations of losing game one and cut Derrick Henry and get rid of this, whatever. No matter what he said, he's still not gonna be above the Baltimore Ravens.
That's true.
Like, and he's the highest paid player on the team,
He is.
and still, he ain't higher paid than the owner.
No.
So that's what I'm saying. In reference back to Angel Reese, you can be as profound, you could be as spotlight as you want to be, you could be, as great as you want to be. It's still certain things that you can and cannot do, especially if you're supposed to be that caliber of a player and that caliber of a person, you know. Yeah. And then you want the people behind you to be able to want to play with you and play for you. Like, there ain't nobody going to play with you. And so if the Chicago let you go, hey, it's gonna be like, I don't know if I want her on my team.
Yeah. So her teammates, of course, some of them took offense. Some of them took the approach of being diplomatic. They were like, "Hey, she's young. Maybe she didn't realize what she was saying was going to be taken in that context or
Hmm.
written in that manner." All those things. Angel herself apologized because she said it was not her intent to throw her teammates under the bus. Um, However, she did kind of double down on the fact that she meant what she said in the regards to the organization.
Uh-huh.
I agree with you, and I think she probably let her frustrations get the best of her, and what she was feeling, she probably could have said to the organization because she still has to represent the organization. Um, and I think she's just learning how the WNBA works in general. And
Or
she's kind of frustrated with how it's organized, the way the Chicago Sky is organized.
yeah,
I'm not going to put it on the whole WNBA because some of the teams invest in their players, they invest in like um, the amenities, they invest in everything. Some teams
yeah,
don't. So I think she is probably just frustrated from that. What pundits have said and other like people are they agree with her sentiments, but she went about it in the wrong way. So
yeah,
basically what you and I are saying, and she's still young.
yeah.
Um, and you gotta know whenever there's a camera around or people have pen and paper
Yes.
that and they're looking for something, even if you don't give them a direct story, they're going to make a
They're
story
gonna
from
make
it.
one. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't give them nothing.
No.
Yeah.
So, I hope that is a lesson for her, and that she is able to move forward with the organization and her team, more so her teammates,
Yeah.
because I don't think she really care. This is a year two with the Chicago Sky. She's probably not trying to be there year four by year four.
Yeah.
So I don't think she really cares about the organization, but I do think she don't want people to think she's that type of person that would, you know, throw your team under the bus,
Yeah.
teammates under the bus. So
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, she's young. But I mean, this other than a life lesson of the WNBA, this is a life lesson in life. Like,
Right,
regardless of where your profession is or what you're doing, there's certain things that you can and cannot do at your job or at your profession or whatever you're doing. Even if you're an entrepreneur, you can't just go around just saying stuff about your clients, because then
right.
you won't have clients. So she'll learn.
Speaking speaking of people who said things at their job and
Look
probably
at
shouldn't have
them,
said it,
these segues be like be
you be
hitting.
on it.
They
You
these
be on it, my
segues
boy.
be hitting.
You be on it. Ryan Clark was on Get Up. Might have been Thursday or Wednesday last week.
I think
No,
it
it
was
was it was
Friday. It was
Friday. It was
Friday.
Friday
Hmm.
because it was following the Cowboys versus Eagles game,
Hmm.
and they got into a discussion about AJ Brown only receiving one target in the game, which I myself was personally upset at because he's on my fantasy team.
Oh,
But so I was listening to the discussion, and a portion of the discussion made headlines, and we're going to play that portion and then react to it. So this is from Get Up. Dan Orlovsky, Peter Schrager, Mike Green, Ryan Clark, and Teddy Bruschi are all sitting around the table, and this is this discussion and how it went.
Morning. Are you feeling okay? You look at AJ Brown, which is this number one wide receiver who got one target all night, and then you got CeeDee Lamb.
But that's the when was the one target? That's the target.
But
though.
I'm saying
when
like,
was the one
I'm
target?
saying you could have it both ways.
54 seconds left in the game on 2nd and 11. It was the one target. He runs the out route.
You wake up this
the
morning
corners
saying
got
AJ
outside
Brown
leverage.
had a better day than CeeDee Lamb.
But you know what you wake up saying though? AJ Brown's team is 1-0.
Of course,
right? Like,
I mean,
like
yes,
that's what
I get it.
But the thing is this though, and we shouldn't do this on TV, and so I apologize if people think this is rude. That's the non-player.
Oh,
view.
stop! That's no. That CeeDee Lamb is.
Let me tell you why. I'm not saying.
I'm not looking at fantasy football, Ryan. I'm not. Don't belittle me like that. I could come in and say, as 3X players are saying one thing, and give an alternative perspective that maybe CeeDee Lamb did play well. And
Peter, what I need for you to do is not get mad and let me finish for one.
Okay, go on.
It wasn't about you. It was going to be about me.
Okay.
As a player.
All right. So they were on Ryan Clark's head, Mike. They were on his head because he had the audacity to sit up there on Get Out and tell that man,
get up.
Get Out.
He looked like a character on Get Out.
On Get Out, right. On Get Up and say, you can't speak from this perspective because you're a non-player. And Peter at first was like, shocked. And then he was like, you know what? You ain't gonna disrespect me.
Yeah.
You ain't. I can say whatever I want to say. I didn't have to have played to
Right.
be able to give a sound critique here.
Right.
You're not gonna do that to me. And then Ryan Clark was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, buddy, whoa!
Maybe I
I
went too
wasn't
far.
trying to offend you. I was actually trying to talk about myself." I don't know where he was going with that.
I don't either. I think
And
he
I,
realized he messed up and he was trying to backtrack.
yeah,
Yeah.
where I think he messed up was he started the conversation with, "Maybe I shouldn't say this."
Uh-huh.
Anytime that is your first thought, follow it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Don't even say that part out loud. Yeah.
He said the quiet part out loud. He
Mm-hmm.
said, maybe I shouldn't say this.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to say the thing that he said to himself he should not say.
Did you hear how quiet it got when he said that?
Yes.
Maybe I shouldn't say
No,
this.
nobody else made a peep. And in fact, when he said it's the non-player in you, everybody else backed up and just sat still
Mm-hmm.
and let it play out because they knew in that moment he had messed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Even Greeny, who always got something, and Greeny is like probably one of the best like host. Is that what you call them? Like when you're like
Yeah.
the keep
He's
the
a
show
host.
going, like
Yeah.
like Molly. She's not really that good, but she's good. But she's not Greeny. you know,
Right.
Greeny's like probably the best to have like a panel around him and keep the conversation like going and it's flowing good. He didn't say anything. He
Nope.
got quiet. Like, Ryan, you about to lose your job.
So that's one of the things people have been talking about. They have started a petition on Twitter saying that Ryan Clark should lose his job. That's where I'm gonna start you. We both agree that he shouldn't have made this statement,
Yeah.
knowing that he shouldn't have made the statement.
Yeah.
2, should there be consequences for him saying this? Because people are like, they should fire Ryan Clark. Now, Ryan Clark has said a lot of things.
Yeah.
He keeps putting himself in positions where people are like, get rid of him.
Here, especially here recently too.
Right. So, do you think ESPN should fire Ryan Clark?
I don't think they should. I don't know if they've been having having conversations with him about like some of the comments that he's been making. But fire, I don't think he should lose his job for making that statement. Um, it wasn't derogatory. It wasn't like overly offensive as far as like any, speaking about his background or anything like that. He didn't play football. So I mean it was it wasn't like
It was a true
it was
statement.
a true statement, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like any racism or any like bigotry or down putting, he didn't say you're a bad journalist or anything like that. He just made a statement that, you could have left that one, you could have kept that to yourself, Ryan. Like everybody know he didn't play football. But quickly, do you remember early in the Good Morning Football when Peter Schrager used to be on Good Morning Football? Early, because that show is not that old, so probably like 10 years, maybe 8 years old. When they had D'Angelo Williams on there, when D'Angelo Williams played for the Steelers, and D'Angelo and wasn't Peter Brandt, I
Yeah.
think, got into it.
Kyle Brandt.
Kyle Brandt, I'm sorry. Kyle Brandt got into it. Do you remember that?
No, what happened?
So D'Angelo Williams was playing for the Steelers at the time, and he was like a reoccurring guest. And they were having a conversation about the Steelers. Matter of fact, no, I think it was the year after D'Angelo Williams had left the Steelers, and I think he had retired. And they were having a conversation about the Steelers. But everybody know Kyle Brandt is like a Steeler fan, like at heart. He always picks the Steelers to go to playoffs, whatever, there. But they were having a conversation, and somehow it turned into D'Angelo Williams saying, "You shouldn't be commenting on this because you
never
play
played
football." He played. Kyle played, but he said you played fullback. Like you didn't do it. Like you played fullback, and even at the time, Nate Burleson had stepped in and was like, hey man, like don't be disrespectful, like whatever. I think Peter kind of felt that coming back, and he was like, nah, what you won't do is that though, and we won't have that, because Peter was on the set then. I think that's when it was Peter, Kyle, Nate Burleson, and I can't remember the female name, but she now does like Hulu Sports and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that had happened, and it kind of reminded me of that. Like it instantly, that came back to my mind when I saw Ryan Clark be a little bit disrespectful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we are learning, and hopefully this is like lessons. Ryan Clark did apologize. Let me just say that.
Yeah, he did.
He apologized in that moment. He apologized on Twitter, and people were giving him hell for his comment. I told you they want him fired. Everybody want everybody fired, and I don't know why we're in this state of cancellation where it involves firing people, losing their jobs for like simple stuff. But I think Ryan just has to be more conscious of
the platform that he's on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because ESPN don't be playing that. I don't know.
They
ESPN owned by Disney. So they don't be playing that. It don't take much. Like for them to say it's time for us to move on. So
Yeah.
I think Ryan has a good thing going with the pivot,
Yeah.
and I think it would behoove him to use that platform to also push the things that he's talking about on the pivot, but stay
Yeah.
on that platform.
Stay. Yeah. Like if you want to say what you want to say it on the pivot.
Exactly, where you
But
have control.
then you really
Control.
can't say so much because you still Ryan Clark. But yeah,
Yeah. Don't
yeah.
be a Channing, because that fool.
But Channing ain't
It,
on ESPN, so he can say whatever he want
and
to.
he would never be, and that's why he say whatever he want to say, because he know his lane.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta know your lane. If you're gonna dress up and be polished and put your tie on, you gotta dress up and put your tie on.
Yeah.
If not, you do it however you want to.
Yeah.
So all right, let's get into these games. Did you watch every game yesterday or most games yesterday? Or were
I
you
know.
concentrating on
I
your
watch
Steelers? Because
the 1 o'clock game. Well, whenever the Steelers play, so I have red zone, right? And so,
can
whenever
you
the
see this?
yeah, I'm here. I'm with you. So whenever the Steelers play, I'm only gonna focus on the Steelers. During the commercials, I flip back to red zone.
Mhm.
YouTube TV, I could do the split screen, all of that stuff. So I'll flip back to the split screen. But when the Steelers are playing, I'm full screen, locked in. After that game, I'm strictly red zone. Like if the Steelers
Okay.
not playing, I'm strictly red zone, and I'm watching their game, whatever they popping up on red zone or whatever. So that 4 o'clock hour, I watched it a little bit. I was out running a little bit of errands, but I kind of dibbled and dabbled in some of the games.
Yeah. So I watched, and for our audio only, I have a picture of the Steelers and Jets. Uh, this is Jalen Ramsey. He was feeling good about himself because he actually saved the game. He did.
He put a monster hit
He
on
did. He
Garrett.
hit
I
Garrett
mean, a
Wilson
monster,
and folded Garrett Wilson little body. He
like a
ain't know.
lawn chair. It was,
Yeah,
and it was so fitting because Garrett was chirping all game,
they were talking back and forth
And
all
Ramsey
game.
was talking his talk.
Yeah. So the final score ended up being 34-32. I did watch the entire game. Um, I just wanted to, well, the Steelers are in the AFC North. I want to take a gander at the
Yeah,
Steelers. I looked at a little bit of the Bengals and Cleveland game,
yeah,
just to see. And this is what the Ravens didn't play to the late night game, so it was good to just see. So when I
hmm
did watch the Ravens game, it would give me indication on how what I thought or how I thought the season might wrap up eventually, or what are some things to pay attention to? And this is going to be my honest opinion about the Steelers and Jets. One, the defense looks shaky. Steelers defense looked shaky. They actually gave up more running yards than I think I've ever seen the Steelers defense give up.
We
But
gave up more in the playoffs against y'all last year.
nah, that's what I'm saying.
Right?
I'm just saying the Jets does not have a good offense yet. Um,
They played well yesterday.
That's what I was about to say. I think
Oh,
they got something to build off of. Um, I don't think, of course, they won't win their division, but I do think they'll be competitive. Um, the Steelers' offense looked much improved. Still didn't run the ball well, but Aaron Rodgers did not look bad. Um, he looked his age at some points when trying to scramble and create more time. I'm concerned about the left tackle. I think he a rookie.
mm-mm.
Or
It's
okay,
his third
sorry.
year.
I'm sorry.
hmm
I'm concerned about the left tackle.
Our right
Because
tackle is basically a rookie. This is his first start in the NFL. He got hurt
the,
last year and he was out for
yeah,
the season.
the right side looked fine, minus oh boy, the right guard, but the left tackle had me more concerned. And then I had to look at they both named Broderick.
Only one's named Broderick.
Okay. Um, so left side, a little concerned about the tackle, but he's young, it seems, and I don't know. I don't think it's good for Aaron Rodgers for, his left side to be the the concern. But overall, Steelers defense stepped up when they were supposed to. They gave up some chunk plays, but I did not like Darius Slay. I'm I'm giving two thumbs. I don't know what, and I like Darius Slay. He did not play well, and I don't know if it was the environment or he's learning new defense. All
Mm-hmm.
of that goes into factors. Jalen Ramsey actually played well, even when he was on like some stuff. I mean, you can't expect players to be perfect. I just look for effort, and I look for you know if they're doing fundamentally sound stuff. So as a non-Steelers fan, I think the team will definitely get to the 10-7 prediction that I made a week ago. Um, they could probably squeak out a little bit more games too, because I think they look they look fine. They didn't look great on in any area, but they look fine. Like they looked okay to me. Like um I think they'll be competitive. I'm still not ready to say they'll make the playoffs, but that depends on a lot of factors. But
Mm-hmm.
I do think overall they look good. What are your thoughts as the Steelers fan?
As the Steelers fan, um, first let's start with the offensive side of the ball.
Mhm.
Um, Offensively, I'm gonna be 100% transparent with you. Even
I'm
though
listening.
uh, we couldn't run the ball to save our life, stat man, I got you. We had 20 carries for 53 yards as a team.
20 carries for 53 yards.
We
I'm gonna
averaged 2.7 yards a
okay,
carry
I was
as
gonna
a
divide it.
as a team.
Mm-hmm.
As a as a team. That cannot happen at
No.
all.
Mm.
Why they had Kenneth Gainwell as the feature running back, I'm not sure. I'm not in the locker room with the Steelers. I'm not in the coaches' meetings with them. Oh, how one day I would love to be though. If I could just have one dream is to coach a Steeler game. But either whatever. Um, but aside from that, um, this is probably the most fun I've had watching a Steeler game, because the offense was actually moving the ball. This is the first time since Big Ben that we consistently moved the ball at least up and down the field. I think Corliss Waitman maybe punted twice. He had he had 4 punts. In a normal game without Aaron Rodgers, he would have probably had 8 punts, maybe. This is the most fun that I've had watching a game, even though the defense, well, I'll get to the defense later. But we do need to fix the offensive line. That is a glaring issue. To backstory on Broderick Jones, who you was talking about. So Broderick Jones started out playing on the right side, right? He was drafted in the first round to play left tackle, but we had Dan Moore, who was playing pretty good. So they put Broderick on the right. Um, he did okay on the right side. That's where he played his previous 2 years. Um, Troy Fautanu, who we drafted in the first round last year, came in the Broncos game and actually replaced Broderick Jones, but then he got hurt in that Broncos game. And then that's when he was out for the year. So Broderick went back to the right side. So this was supposed to be the first year that Broderick was going to actually start in his natural position on the left side. So I don't know how much patience they're going to have, or how much grace they're going to give to see if it just turns into something for Broderick. But like you said, with a 41-year-old quarterback, I don't know if they're going to hit the panic button, or if they're going to be like, okay, Broderick, we're gonna let you try to figure this thing out. But he looked bad. Out of the 4 sacks, he gave up 3. That's not good. Troy gave up 1, but if this your first game starting, you only give up 1 sack. I mean, I'm not worried about the interior of our offensive line. Our right guard, center, left guard, Isaac Sayamalu, left guard, our all pro, all world center, Frazier, is a dog. He might not be Tyler Lindenbaum, but he is a monster. And then our right guard, Mason McCormick, who's also in his second year. So and Zach Frazier's in his second. So our whole offensive line is young. Like other than Isaac Sayamalu, yeah, they're all young. But they need to figure out this running game. But I had fun watching the Steelers offense for the first time in a long time. Watching the Steelers offense. So Aaron Rodgers did cover up a lot of deficiencies as far as the running game. It's probably the first time that it is the first time that we've had a Steelers quarterback throw 4 touchdowns in the debut. But yeah, he played pretty good. Do I want to lean on Aaron Rodgers every game to throw 4 touchdowns? I do not. So we're gonna have to fix that running game, or at least pass block way better than what we did. DK Metcalf looked good. He looked very fast, and some of our other receivers look pretty good as well. So I'm not worried about any of that. Defensively, we got to stop that. I don't know what was going on with the run, with stopping the run. That was just awful. I don't know. Cam Haywood did not look good after doing all that complaining about his contract.
I was gonna say that. At one point, I thought, "Oh my god, he looks 37."
Uh-huh. He did all that, and then they, did you see they finally paid him? Or they gave him
Yeah,
like, he can get incentives to, whatever.
yeah.
That did not look good. We were missing our first round draft pick, Derek Harmon. He's hurt, so they expect him to come back next game. Maybe that'll help. Patrick Queen was very upset.
Why
Very.
was he upset?
He said, excuse my language, but he said that the Steelers defense looked like shit.
Hmm.
Said we played like shit. We looked like shit.
Well,
So, yeah, I'm okay with that.
can I ask you a question? If a team gives up 182 rushing yards, at what point does the the middle linebacker take any
He
responsibility for that?
in I didn't finish the whole quote, but he did take
Okay.
accountability as well.
Okay.
He said that
Okay.
but it's also I don't want to get into schematics and all of that stuff, but
I, I got you.
most of that stuff is D-line stuff. Like, you got to be able to win some of those blocks. And you if you're not getting off of blocks and winning some of those blocks, then you're gonna lose a lot of those, yards. So if you getting whipped on blocks and then the person that's blocking you could climb up to the middle linebacker, it ain't nothing that middle linebacker gonna be able to do.
Right.
So there's
I got
schematically.
you. Hmm.
Secondary looked okay. Slay, I'm gonna tell you what happened to Slay, right? So the plan is, right, for Jalen to be the number one corner. Jalen played every position. Well, I don't know if you noticed. He played nickel.
Yeah,
He played
he did.
safety.
He
And then
did.
on that last drive, he was playing outside corner.
He was.
He almost got a pick to end the game before that big hit on Garrett Wilson. He should have picked the ball off and just ended it like that. You remember on the sideline when
I do.
he dropped the pick? Well, it went through his hands, and he should have went ahead and ended the game there. But so the plan, what was told to us is that Steelers is gonna run man to man, blah blah blah. We gonna man up everybody. We straight up man. They came out the game running zone. I said,
Hmm.
so what are we doing? But I have an idea why they may have been running zone, because they wanted to keep eyes on Justin Fields. So
Hmm.
if he escaped the pocket or whatever. But if
Right.
you got Patrick Queen, who's not slow, you got Peyton Wilson, who's the second fastest player on your defense. We can't spy him. But I'm not the defensive coordinator. So, I just watch as a fan and just like a couch coach, you know what I'm saying? Coach from the couch, baby. You know, shameless plug. Um, but yeah, that's those are my takes from the game. So what happened to Slay first? Go back to that. Slay got caught on the number one receiver.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what we planning to do. So Slay is a good corner, but is he at his 36-year-old age still should be running with a 22, 24-year-old? No.
Probably not.
That should have been Joey Porter or maybe Jalen Ramsey. He could probably still do it, but it should have been one of them two. But he got caught on the number one receiver, and the number one receiver did what he was supposed to do. He won. He won and he scored. So kudos. Garrett Wilson had a game. Good, the Jets played good though. I'm not even gonna hold you. The Steelers should have lost this game. I'm
Mm-hmm.
put it out there. Steelers should have lost this game. If it wasn't for that turnover on that kick return that, put us back up, it would have this game probably would have been different. But, that's just like, the next game we'll talk about. If it wasn't for that one turnover, that game would because I told you I was going to sleep.
You did.
I did. But anything else on the Steelers game before we move on?
Nope. I'm looking forward to seeing how the AFC North shapes up. That's my last thought on the Steelers game.
I'm still optimistic about the season. I'm not a Dallas Cowboys still a fan. I'm not thinking we're gonna win the Super Bowl every year. You
Mm-hmm.
know, um,
Do you
I
think
just
this team could win the Super Bowl?
like the way they played yesterday, or do I like the way it's constructed?
The way it's constructed.
It's gonna be tough to get out that AFC, man. Them three horses up top. That's tough, man. Like if we could score like this, we have a chance. We have to be able to score. I think the defense can turn itself around. We have the players that can play defense. I think so. I think the defense is constructed to be good. If we can score, and that's the only thing I'm worried about, because you play Buffalo, you got to score. You play Baltimore, you got to score. Like the only way we be getting away with it is because it's division. That's the only way we be getting away with winning 20-18 because it's division. You play Kansas City, you got to score. Like if we can score, 28-35 points, we have a chance. But I'm not. It's maybe like I'm giving it maybe like a 20% chance to even get out the AFC.
I got you.
Super Bowl is that's lofty.
I got you. I was just wondering. So the Steelers played, then the night game was the Ravens game.
Yeah,
Can you see this graphic, Mike?
not yet.
Hold on. Sorry, it went back.
Yep.
You see this graphic?
Yeah.
With 3 minutes and 56 seconds left. With 3 minutes and 56 seconds left, the score was Baltimore Ravens 40, Buffalo Bills 25.
Mm-hmm. That's for the audio only listeners.
For audio only listeners. What pursued after this?
At what
The
point was
final
this? What point was this in the game? Was this on the kick? Oh, this is after y'all punted.
This
It
was
was fourth
after
and
we
two.
punt. It was
So this was after the fumble.
no. This was before the fumble. They scored on the fumble.
Okay, they scored. Okay, and then y'all
Yeah.
came back and fumbled. Okay, so everybody's asking, right?
I'm listening.
Before you get started, should y'all have went
Oh,
for it on 4th and 2 instead of punting?
everybody's been saying we should have, but let me say one thing. Lamar said he was cramping. That means Lamar couldn't run efficiently. He would have had to hand the ball off and or pass. Do we think Derrick Henry could have picked up the 3 yards that was required? It's a possibility. That depends on the O-line though, right?
Yeah.
Do we
Because
think Lamar could have had time to find an open receiver? It's a possibility. Yeah, sure. Do I think John Harbaugh in that moment thought, you know what, we're going to give them the ball back and they're going to go and be able to go the length of the field
Mm-hmm.
and get within field goal range? I don't think he thought they would. I think he thought this is the moment for the defense
To stand up.
to stand up.
Yeah.
And I know everybody's giving John Harbaugh a hard time. I'm gonna say in that moment, how else do you build confidence in your a side of the team unless you put them in situations that they have to?
Stand up.
Yes,
Hmm. With that, and I don't know too many other coaches other than Dan Campbell for the Lions that would have went for it up 15 with 3 minutes left.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? Like you're up. Why are we? Because y'all were on what, maybe like the 40 on y'all side,
yeah,
somewhere around there. Like,
yeah,
and if you miss it, you put them in field goal range.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I,
So
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
so I am okay. One, let me say, the game started out, the Bills score immediately. Defense just whiffed. One, they started out on the 50. That's
Hmm.
special teams. Special teams did not have a good night. They kept giving Josh Allen short fields, which I don't know why you would give any quarterback a short field. Nobody would give Lamar. You don't start Lamar on the 50. He's gonna score from there, right?
At
You
least a
don't
field goal.
Yes, you don't do Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, all these top quarterbacks. You don't give them a short field. So that was one of the issues. Another issue. I'm a okay. I'm gonna tell you the stat line. Hold on. And then you tell me what you think the issue is. The Buffalo Bills had one, two, three, four, five people carry the ball. They had a total of 108 yards.
Hmm.
That's an
Buffalo.
average of Buffalo. That's an
Hmm.
average of 3.5 yards
Yeah.
per carry. That
Not
is
that great.
great.
You
That is
think that's
great.
for
That
who?
is great.
For the defense?
Yes.
Oh, I was about to say
For the
that.
defense.
I was about to say not for the Buffalo. That's not
Oh
good.
no, 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 no. For the Bills, that is terrible.
Yeah, that's awful.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. For the defense, you stop the run.
Hmm.
If you stop the run, what do most teams do when they're behind? Or you stop, made them one dimensional? They do the other dimension, right?
Hmm.
They throw the ball. Josh Allen had 394 yards
Hmm.
throwing the ball.
Yeah.
They averaged 11.9 per target.
Hmm.
They dropped back in this like weird ass zone. I don't know if it was like, I don't even know what cover this was. It was like a weird zone. They played most of the second half and they gave so much cushion. It was almost like they were scared of getting beat over the top, but they allowed 10 yards, 10 yards. 10,
That
they
was
should have,
the that was playing prevent. So you don't get
yeah,
beat deep, but you allow the team to you allow the you what the purpose what you're trying to do is you allow the team to go ahead and catch the balls underneath and you tackle inbounds. The
right.
problem was y'all wasn't tackling inbounds. They were
They
still
were letting them
getting out of
stop the
bounds.
clock.
Yes.
Correct.
That was the issue.
Correct. So I say all this to say, I don't, Lamar had scored, they had scored, the offense had scored 40 points entering the fourth.
Hmm.
They already had scored 40 points. What I hate about the Ravens is the fact that you want your offense to have to score 50 because you do dumb shit on defense. And I think I'm glad Lamar didn't fumble. I'm glad Lamar didn't throw an interception because it all would have fell on him. had he had any mistake. Although Lamar played as about as perfect of a game as he possibly could play.
Mm-hmm.
His offensive line shaky at times. Shaky. I mean, at one point, me and you were on the phone, and I said, Lamar, you going the wrong way? He was literally running the opposite way and
like
then turned around
like Madden.
and ran for a 20-yard like pickup. He ran 20 yards away and still ran another 40 yards to pick up a 20-yard first down.
Yeah.
And it's all because it was so much pressure on him. But he's expected to do things like that. But when it come down to a cornerback making a tackle, we was on the phone again, and I was screaming, "Get off your blocks!" You were like, "It ain't that easy to get off your blocks. You think it's that easy to get off your block?" I'm not saying it's easy. I get it. Somebody's jamming you. I get it. They got their hands on you. You got your hands on them. But that's your job.
Yeah.
That is your job to say, oh, okay, this is going long enough. Let me shed this. That
Yeah.
is your job. I just don't get why we're in this position. I feel bad for Lamar. And I have never said that about a quarterback ever in my life.
Except Lamar.
Except I feel bad for him. Cause what else do you want him to play defense and special teams next?
Yeah.
What else do you want from him? He gave you 40 freaking points. All you had to do was get one stop.
Yeah.
One. Then you make a discussion of should you go for it on 4th and 3? He got to save you more?
Yeah. Yeah. And then do you remember y'all punted the ball on 4th and 2, right? And y'all could have downed it into 1,
Yep.
but his hand
But he
touched the
slid
goal. Yeah. When
and
he
hit
should have
the
just put the ball down and just walked away
yeah, he didn't even
instead
have
of
to dive
diving
for the
on it. He
ball.
didn't have to dive on
Yes.
it. It's
He
nobody.
did not.
It wasn't a fumble recovery like it. Is that why he don't
There
start?
was nobody else that is why he don't start. It was so many miscues. It was so many things that I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Even if you down it inside the 5, like it don't have to be at the 1.
Why
Inside
did
the
it have to
5,
be the
it didn't have to be.
Mike?
He
The
could have
way
just
that
yeah.
ball wasn't moving
It was
anymore.
not moving. He could have just
It
left
was
it
gonna.
alone.
He could have not touched it.
He could have just left it alone. You didn't have to
That
dive on it. It was just leave it
he
there. The
dove
punter,
on the ball and slid 5
you
yards.
can't ask your
Why
punter
didn't
to
you just be still?
you can't ask your punter to punt a better ball. The ball was right there. It was just laying there.
Yeah, I don't know.
If it was moving, just tap it back. Just tap it
Yeah,
backwards. Because even
stay on
inside
your freaking feet.
Because even inside the 20, it's inside the 10. Even if the ball is inside the 10, you still give your defense that much more of a chance to
Push it.
get a stop
Yes. Yeah.
because
It was so
the play calling changes.
it was so many mishaps. It was so many things that I was like, what is happening? I'll say this. The offense looks great. Your teams are gonna have to score 35.
Hmm.
I don't the offensive line is shaky, but they know what to do. They make it work just enough.
They ain't
And
shaky in the run. They ain't shaky against the run game.
all they need is like a slight push. It
Yeah,
was like moments, and I was like, this looks great. The offense looks great. I'm
yeah.
not worried about the offense.
It was
I
times
always say that.
Derrick Henry wasn't even getting touched until he was
Yeah.
10, 15 yards. I mean, not even a hand on him till he 10, 15 yards down the field. I'm like, if you give Derrick Henry that type of like running start, man, ain't no who they who
They
like
couldn't catch him.
this is bad. Like this was the Buffalo got some things. Hey, good Lord. I thought we couldn't stop the run. We only gave up
Yeah.
100 and something, 150. They gave up almost 200. Well, how many rushing
They
yards did
gave
y'all
up
have?
200. They gave up 238 yards. It could have been more, but Justice Hill decided to go backwards on one play.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
They
Derrick Henry,
they averaged 8.2 yards rushing. It probably would have been 10. Derrick
yeah.
Henry had 169 yards by himself. on 18 carries. That's 9.4. Lamar has 70 yards on 6 carries. That's
Yeah,
11.7.
that's it. See, so how many yards did y'all average?
8.2.
See, and you remember when we was watching our game, right? The Steeler game, and we was like, this looks awful, right?
Yeah.
Like they averaged 4.7 yards a carry.
When we play the Steelers in the
No, no,
divisional
no, no,
game.
no, no. When the Steelers played the Jets
Oh yeah,
averaged,
and we said it looked
and we
bad.
said they look bad. The Jets
Yeah.
averaged 4.7 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
8.2 is ridiculous.
8 point. That's a first down every carry. Every time you
Every
got the ball,
carry.
that's you, and they got a first down. That's not good. Buffalo got some good lord, boy. I know they
That's
glad
why
they got out of there with a win because
they
you
should
taking
be.
you taking that on the chin and an L. Boy, you about to fire every defensive lineman you got.
Lamar threw the ball 19 times. He only had to throw the ball 19 times. Lamar had a QBR of 94 with a passer rating of 144. Lamar was very efficient. He had 5
Yeah.
incompletions. He was very efficient. He was smart with the ball. He did smart things. Like I said, not concerned about the offense. I think the offense will be able to score with whomever, because DeAndre Hopkins made a sighting. I
Yeah.
think the offense will be able to score with whomever, whenever they desire to score.
Well, y'all have
When
a
the
force multiplier of Lamar Jackson, so
Yeah,
it makes it a lot easier to. We could go out there and call offensive plays if we wanted to.
yep. Lamar, do whatever you
Yeah,
just do whatever.
yeah,
Please protect him. That's
yeah,
all. That would be my offense.
yeah.
The defense was trash. They only had 2 sacks. No, they had 1 sack. I'm sorry. Of course. The pass rush looked terrible. The secondary looked terrible.
Yeah.
The only good thing was they didn't give a lot of rushing yards, but the pass rush was horrible. Josh Allen had all day, and I literally mean all day to throw, to look, to wait for a receiver. Now, the pass rush and the secondary go hand in hand. You give
Hmm.
somebody 7 seconds to throw, it's impossible for the cornerbacks to keep up with them.
Yeah, not for that long.
They lose them at some point. Now they're looking back, like where the hell is the ball? And now it's over your head,
Yeah.
or it's zipped in. I I just think if you're up by 15 and it's 4 minutes left, then some changes have to be made. I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if it's the players. I don't know what it is. Something needs to change. I am tired. As a Ravens fan, I am sick and tired. Mike texted me. He said, "You nervous?" I said, "No, because if they lose, they deserve to lose." That's literally what I said.
Hmm.
Because I've seen this show before. This is not unfamiliar territory. The offense does everything they could possibly do, and then the defense does nothing. Derrick Henry fumbled, and it's literally the least amount of my worries,
Yeah,
because that'll probably be the last time this season he fumbles.
probably.
Can
He doesn't
I
fumble much.
say, can I say that this is the last time that the defense will give up a 15-point lead? No, I can't say that.
Yeah.
It's just like Lamar gets on, he said, "Hey, we just got to be better." I will say, Kyle Hamilton said something, and I was like, this is why he deserved every. Kyle Hampton played great, but he's one person. He can't rush the passer, play in the secondary, play the nickel. He can't be everywhere. He can't be everywhere. Kyle Hamilton said we're better defense than that, but we don't show it. He said I was physically sick when I looked up at the scoreboard and saw that we gave up almost 400 yards in passing. If everybody don't feel like that waking up today, nauseous
Yeah.
on the defense, if they don't feel nauseous, get rid of them. I was going
See,
to say something else, but
but
get
when
rid of
Patrick
them.
Queen said that, you was questioning Patrick
Be-
Queen's
because I
accountability.
don't I don't want that to come from him. I don't want that to come. Jalen Ramsey can say that. Patrick Queen can't say that. I saw Patrick Queen get put in a blender yesterday. Jalen Ramsey can say that. Patrick Queen can't say that. If you are somebody who gonna walk it like you talk it, say whatever you want.
You don't think what is this dislike for you and Patrick Queen?
He's not good, Mike, and you know he's
Let's
not.
get PQ on the show. PQ, if you ever
He ain't never
see
coming up
this
here.
clip,
He's
if you
not
can see
good.
I will invite PQ on the show.
You
If you could
should.
get on the show, hey, if you see this clip in the middle of you fishing one day, uh, come on
Yep.
and hit it. Hey, send us an email at
He
professional at procouchcoach@gmail
yeah.
and hit us
Yep.
up.
He
Pro
not
couch
good. But
coach. Yeah.
if you walk it, if Lamar came out there and say, "Hey, the offense, we can't fumble. We got to protect the ball." Whatever Lamar say, I'm with it. If
Mhm.
Kyle Hamilton say, "We got to be better," you got to be better. You can't come out there and say, "Oh, we got to be better," and you the thing that's fucking it all up.
So you wanted that to come from TJ
Yes, yes.
because TJ played
Somebody,
good.
somebody who is doing their job, say that. Not nobody. Jair Alexander said, "Well, we played a good quarterback, and he played horrible." And
Hmm.
everybody kept saying, "Oh, well, I want him to play. I want him to play." He ain't practiced, Mike, since July 30th.
It looked like it.
He practiced this week. He practiced Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They put him on the field, and it looked like 2 months had went by.
Because you remember when he got that pass interference and we were on the phone and you said, why did he do that?
He
Because he
had
was
plenty
beat.
of time. He was beat. He was beat, but he did not have to touch him.
He didn't.
It didn't even make a. Had he not touched him, he probably would have dropped the ball.
Oh, yeah, it would have been a difficult catch. Yeah.
He made it where now, regardless, they got the spot at the one. It
Yeah.
was just like bad play. It was like not thinking. And it was like football IQ stuff was like out the window. It's like when Keon Coleman at the end broke loose and he tackled him. Why? Let him score.
Yeah.
They're
Because y'all would have
already
had
in
like
field
40,
goal range.
y'all would have had like 40 something seconds or a minute.
Now you give Lamar at least time to get
And
a
y'all had all
field
three
goal.
timeouts.
It was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You've been in the league 8 years. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Let him score. What difference would it have made? You still lost.
Yeah.
You
That's
just
what
made
Chris
it
Collinsworth
easier to
said.
lose.
He said, you should have just let him score.
If the defense, look, I talked about how Asia Wilson said, "Hey, if you don't want," somebody need to publicly say this some bullshit. I appreciate Kyle Hamilton saying he was nauseous. Everybody should be sick.
Yeah.
Everybody. Everybody should be freaking sick. That your offense gave you 40 points and all you had to do was survive for 4 minutes and you couldn't do it.
Yeah. Buffalo, to speak on Buffalo, their defense played horrendous for four
Yes.
quarters and about 10 minutes.
Yep.
4 quarters and 9 minutes, I'll say. 4 quarters and
Yep.
9 minutes, their defense played horrendous. They made 3 stops in the whole game, and those 3 stops came in the last 4 minutes of the
And they made one big play. They
one
only
big
needed one
turnover.
big play.
Yeah.
One big play. That's it. And it switched everything.
Yeah. So the one stop
And
was the punt that
yep.
Trent Simpson slid into the end zone. Then
Yep.
the next stop was Derrick Henry.
Yep.
And then, yeah, it was downhill from there. Then I think they needed another stop.
They
Yes, they did,
did.
because Lamar threw it short of the first down, but they was, when I tell you, they was unleashing, they was engaged eating. That's for all my Madden fans out there. But they was blitzing like 6 or 7 people at that.
Yep.
They was like, hey, look, we gonna ride or die with this blitz. Like, either we gonna stop Derrick Henry and Lamar, or he try to throw it, he ain't gonna have no time, because we about to sending 6 or 7 every play. They was sending the world every play at that point. They should have been doing that all game, but
It wouldn't have mattered.
no.
It
But you
wouldn't have
remember,
mattered.
you remember when y'all was scoring, and I said, why aren't they blitzing Lamar?
Yeah.
Because nobody's fast enough to sit in zone. Like once Lamar is running, I don't care who you are. You're not going to be able to just start running and catch Lamar when he's already in a full sprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. You got to blitz that man. You got to. If he give up a pass, oh well. Like, but you can't let Lamar just sit back there and then start dancing around, and then he extend the play even longer. And then
Yeah.
but hey, they did it in the end. I'm sure Buffalo is happy they somehow squeaked out a win after
Mm-hmm.
giving up 500 yards of offense to the Ravens. And yeah, because
I'm gonna say this. I watched all the games and I was watching Red Zone as well. So I caught pretty much every game, except for the game that's playing tonight. I'm still very confident that the Ravens will actually win the AFC. However, that depends on
if Buffalo lose,
no, if the defense follows
you
suit.
mean like win the AFC in the playoffs,
Yeah.
not be like the number one seed.
No, the Ravens
Yeah,
will still be the number one seed. Buffalo's going to drop a game because they are not good. I know you're going to say, "Oh, well, they."
I didn't say
No.
anything. I'm
Okay.
just
I
saying
know.
y'all, but now y'all have to play behind Buffalo is what I'm that's
Yeah.
all I'm
I'm
saying
not
is
worried
that.
about that. We'll
Yeah,
catch up. I'm not worried about that. I'm not. I'm not.
that's
I'm
all I'm
not worried
saying.
about that. Yeah. I got you. I
Yeah,
got you. I'm not worried about that. The Ravens will still be the number one seed. And I hope that this is the thing that causes a transformation within the defense because the offense is there. The offense is ready.
it
The
took
offense
about
is
how long did it take last year for the defense
10
to?
fucking games, and it can't take 10 games this year.
Yeah,
If I don't see a difference in the defense when we play the Lions, don't look good, or when we play the Rams, who looked a little shaky, but I'm still optimistic. I'm still
yeah.
optimistic.
I think I
The
told you
Packers actually
Houston's.
look really good,
I
though.
told you Houston's defense is good. So that's
Yeah.
why LA. Did you see when they hit Puka Nakua and he looked like he was in a boxing match?
Yeah, he had blood trickling
Yeah,
down his face.
yeah. So Houston's defense is really good. Their
Yeah,
offense, I don't know what was going on with their offense. Maybe
terrible.
the Rams defense is good too, but I know Houston's defense
Mm.
is good. But that's why the game looked the way that it looked.
Oh, I know it was a defensive game. I got
Yeah.
it. I got it.
Speaking of that, real quick, Cameron Newton of the Fourth and One podcast was on ESPN today,
And what did
and
he say?
he made a statement and said that the Cleveland Browns
Mm-hmm.
look good. They played the Bengals and scored 16 points against the
Mm-hmm.
Bengals defense, who we all know is not that good.
Mm-hmm. Joe Flacco threw 2 interceptions.
He said that the Cleveland Browns look good. The
Look,
Cincinnati Bengals didn't even look good.
no, they look. The offensive line looked terrible, and the
What,
defense.
did Joe Burrow have 100 passing yards and that's it?
I don't know what he had, but I know it was trash. Wasn't he on your fantasy? You know how many passing
Yeah, he
yards.
was on my fantasy. That's why. That's why I guestimated about 100 passing yards.
Yeah.
He had
Cleveland did not.
113 passing yards and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, Cleveland did not look good. The Bengals did not look good.
They had
Uh.
46 rushing yards as a team,
Mm-hmm.
and Jamar Chase had 2 catches for 26 yards.
So the problem with Cleveland is they don't have a good offense. They have a good defense.
They're
The
very good
problem
defense.
with the problem with the Bengals is their offense can be explosive, but their defense is trash.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not worried about Cleveland or I think Cam is just these are hyperboles. He just needs something to say because he couldn't have watched the game and then came up with that conclusion
Well,
when
that
the
conclusion
quarterback.
came up because the question was, which I told you was a bad question. He said, should the AFC North fear the Steelers? I think that's
No,
a bad question. I think the question should have been, can the Steelers contend in the AFC North? That should have
yeah,
been the question,
yeah.
not should they fear the Steelers? Like, come on now. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. And he said that, of course, the Ravens are the Ravens, and then he said that Cincinnati looks good, and he said even the Cleveland Browns look good, and I was just like, now you're reaching. Like,
Yeah.
now you
He
going
drunk.
too far. Yeah, he must be something. You going too far with that one. The Browns.
Yeah. It was an interesting first week. I'm interested to see how the Vikings and Bears look tonight.
Yeah.
We will be back to do another episode on Thursday night and do game picks. We have an episode, well, by the time they hear this will come out on Wednesday. We'll have an episode Tuesday. We are putting out our episodes. We appreciate you continuing to like, follow, and subscribe. Hopefully, the next time I talk about the Ravens, I will be optimistic. More optimistic about the defense. But at this point, I really feel like me and Mike could have went out there and did a better job. Just two people on defense.
Just
it would
two
have been the
people.
same outcome.
They
Because
would have
that's how
still
they were
scored 40
playing.
points.
Yeah, that's how they were playing. Like it was just two people out there, not 11. But anyway, anything else you want to before we wrap up?
No, I'm good, man. I think that's it.
All righty. Okay, that's gonna be it, y'all. We'll see y'all next time.
All right, as always, peace. So this has been another episode of Professional Couch Coaches. Please make sure to like, follow, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell one time. And as always, peace.